Richard, promise me I'm gonna see my daughter again.
I promise. But remember, if it's something bad, kill it.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, Leo sent me Ditched, and this 2021 film was directed by Christopher Donaldson and stars Marika, Sila, Chris Loranger, and Lee Lopez, among others, of course. The story of this movie involves this ambulance team after they have crashed into a ditch. And a ditch is like the lower ground part next to a country road. And so they have crashed and like rolled down this little hill into the woods. And they are also transporting criminals, and they've been followed by a cop as well. So he has also crashed into the ditch as well. And so they have to, make sure all the criminals are secure and figure out what's going on. Then they realize that they are being hunted in the woods. Why? Well, it turns out they've all done something bad. So what will happen exactly? Well, you have to watch the movie and find out. All right, so let's discuss this movie. Well, what worked with it? Well, I thought it was actually pretty thrilling to go along with it. I was always very interested to see, who was going to go next, what they had done, and why they were, getting hunted and stuff. And you do find out like each individual character's kind of backstory and, why they did something bad or what they did that was bad. And I really kind of enjoyed that. It definitely has this like discovery and it's definitely very thrilling as well to see if they'll ever get out of it as well. So it's definitely a thrilling movie. Also, I did enjoy the bad guys in this one. They all have the same kind of suit. I think it's called like a ghillie suit. It's like that sniper camo suit that people wear to really blend into the woods. And I really did enjoy that. It kind of gave it this like ominous feel where they could be hiding anywhere. And that definitely was very effective, to amp up the bad guys. They also have quite a few gory kills in this one. They have like a chainsaw kill that's really gory. They have a bunch of like glass ones that are really gory. There's needles and all this other stuff that's pretty gory. So there is quite a bit of gore for the gore hounds, which I think is a positive if you like that type of stuff. In addition, I did like the style of kind of the shooting and the lighting with this one. In the beginning, it's all, red and blues, kind of giving that style. And it works with like kind of the music as well. However, I think sometimes when it's like just flashing lights on the screen, I did not enjoy that. But as long as the lights were on the screen, I enjoyed all the lighting effects. And so that's good as well. And lastly, this movie is a Canadian movie. I think it was filmed in Saskatchewan. And I don't know, I thought it has this like Canadian hokiness to it. And what I mean by that is, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It's kind of like Kids in the Hall, kind of where, you're in a serious situation and someone says like a really funny joke, but at the same time, like, maybe now is not the time to be joking. And that's kind of how I would explain it. They definitely have a few kind of funny lines that I chuckled at.
Each one of you is going to die because you deserve it.
Oh God, I've heard so much worse.
And their accents also come out quite a bit, like not intentionally, of course, but I thought that was cute as well. So yeah, lots of interesting things in this movie. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, as it stands, there is absolutely no setup, and I think it would have benefited so much from having a tiny bit of a setup. It does follow this crashed ambulance, but they don't show you the crash, and so you have no idea what's going on. And the main character like wakes up with like a concussion, so she doesn't even know what's going on as well. It would have benefited, again, from like just seeing the prisoners loaded onto the ambulance. I think that would have just given some type of context for what you're seeing on screen. And so as it stands, when you start the film, you have no idea what's going on. Furthermore, I found the situation to be very contrived. You'd have no idea what's going on at the beginning, and then they have like an exposition dump like halfway through. But it's just so contrived. I thought it was just so weird that way, where like everyone has done something bad, even like the driver and like the intern has done something bad. And then they find everyone who wants to get revenge on those people, and then they have all of these people working together at this exact point. It's just very, very contrived. It feels like none of the characters had like any free will in this one, and it just kind of eliminates any horror elements to it. It is certainly thrilling, but it just eliminates any horror that way. In addition, there does seem to be something going on with the bad guys that make them more than human. It's like very heavily implied that they're bulletproof at the beginning and like shotgun proof as well. And that kind of changes towards the end, but at the same time, like it just gave them kind of this supernatural feel to it that didn't really work with where the film went, I thought. Also, I know I said I enjoyed the lighting, however, there is some problems with it too. I know I said it's all colorized, whether it's yellow, blue, or red or whatever. However, that comes from like the ambulance or the cop car, and when it is just like flashing like directly into the camera, I had some problems with that. Just because it was just so flashy. It's like, please stop. Like, I don't want to see that. It's fine when it's off, but when it's directly in the shot, I definitely was bothered. And beyond the lighting, there is some lighting effects that are included in this movie, and I have no idea why they included it, but they have put like television glare in the movie. Like, I watch it on my TV and I don't really have blinds unless I have to put up something. So I do, get TV glare all the time, but they have just included it within the film. And I was shocked at that. I have never seen that before. I have two of the shots up here on the screen for you, but yeah, I had never seen someone put like sunlight glare into their movie. I thought it was very strange. And lastly, I think this is only going to really bother me because, here at the Geek Legion of Doom, we're all geeks. I'm the sci-fi geek, Leo's the horror geek, but I'm also a plant geek. I love plants. So like every time I see a plant in a movie, I'm like, oh man, like look at that monstera in the background. That's so cool. And so with this movie, they have this orchid that they will sometimes show in the foreground. And it's kind of implied that it's just like a wild orchid. But I was thinking like, are there wild orchids in Saskatchewan? And I had to look it up. They apparently do have some. And then I was like, okay, what types? And it's like nothing like the type that they show you. And I have it pictured here for you. And that was just something that bothered me. I was just like, oh man, plant geeks are not going to like that. So who would I recommend this movie for? Well, if you're looking for a thriller to be thrilled with, then yeah, totally check this one out. As for rating, I gotta give it the okay score of 4. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.